Hi there everyone, and welcome to another weekly series of Tim's Top Tips for Influencer Marketing. This week I'm asking, what is an influencer? So I stopped people in the street to ask them that very question. Hi, so I've stopped Becca in the street in London and I just want to ask her three questions. What do you think an influencer is?
Someone to fitness or like anything on that social media that influences someone and how they act in life. So I would say fitness.
Fantastic. And do you think you're an influencer?
No.
You don't?
No.
Have you ever influenced a purchase decision or someone buying a product or solution?
Me?
Yeah.
No, probably not.
You haven't. How about your family? I guess you influence them or your partner.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, so you are an influencer.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Thank you very much. Hi there, so I've just stopped Jeremy from Edinburgh and I'm just going to ask him three questions. So what do you think an influencer is?
Someone who affects the choices of others.
Okay, interesting. And do you think you're an influencer?
No. Even if I was, would I really want to be? I'm not sure I want to be an influencer, in the sense that that's a lot of power to have, and I'm not a fan of having a lot of power.
Okay, so you believe an influencer is someone that affects the choice of others, but surely you do that in your life with your family or your partner?
I'm single for starters. That's
well,
that is a smaller scale, I have to say, because
okay.
Sure, I mean, like, for the people that you're close with and you have relationships with, influencing doesn't affect everybody. But if you're actually going on social media, for example, and you're like having hundreds of thousands of followers, and you say a good word or a bad word about something, and that affects so many people's sort of beliefs on that person or that thing, that's too much power. If it's just a few people that you're sort of like recommending a video to or something, or giving a little bit of advice to, that's absolutely fine. It's all about the scale.
So Jeremy's definition is the scale of influence. So if you affect hundreds of thousands of people, then you're an influencer. And actually, there's no right or wrong answer. Everyone is an influencer. But thank you very much, Jeremy. I appreciate that. My advice to you as brands is you need to figure out your internal definition of who an influencer is. Ultimately, it's a ridiculous question. We are all influential in life, but people have this perception of who an influencer is, what an influencer is, and that needs to be defined within your organization. So some people will call them brand advocates, some people will call them ambassadors, some people will call them content creators, some people will call them social media influencers, non-traditional influencers, analysts, journalists, politicians, academics. There's lots of different definitions there. It's far better to be able to define your own one rather than say influencer like a lot of people are doing at the moment. So how do we at Onalytica define influencers? Well, we tend to work with a lot of marketing comms professionals in B2B and industry marketing, and because they're working with journalists, analysts and politicians already in their PR, AR and external affairs teams, we like to define it as an individual who's not a journalist, analyst or politician, but who influences the decision-making process or changes the buying behavior or any change in behavior with your target audience. And target audience is the really critical part, because if they don't influence your target audience, then they're not relevant as an influencer to your particular target market. So hope that's useful. Make sure you work out your internal definition, and hope you enjoyed this video. See you next week.